Here's a quick video for you. If you want to have a channeled system in your stucco, right? Some kind of a relief joint, some kind of expansion joint, maybe it's like a Hardie panel setup, and you want to kind of dynamically shape it. There is a quick and easy way of doing this. Now I have another video and I'll link that at the top of the screen, and that's for creating automatic battens. You can use that same methodology to create this same system in terms of any kind of vertical runs, right? So maybe that cuts some time down. So go check that video out as well. But here we go, is I've got a material region, all right? So that's in the build menu under walls, and then you can see at the bottom there, wall material region. This guy right there, all right? So I have that drawn on the wall here, and I'm gonna set this up to create a relief channel. So I'm going to open this up. I want to make sure that I'm selecting cut finish layer of parent object. And then let's go ahead and edit the material layers. And here we go. I'm going to say, yeah, we're going to relieve this 3/4 inch. No, that's not how this works. And in fact, it's going to cut the parent object's surface layers, right? So we actually want, depending on what your parent object is, in this case, mine's stucco, maybe it's 7/8, maybe it's 1¼ or something like that. I want to make this as thin as possible to make a bigger relief, because this is going to move towards the back, basically the back side of that exterior surface layer. So for the case of mine, I'm going to make it really pronounced. So I'm going to make mine 1/16 of an inch. And then I painted it some kind of a steel texture. And so here we go. Now that's going to cut into the surface. And if we look on the side here, we can see it's cutting past my my sheathing as well. So keep that in mind. You might need to size this accordingly. So for the sake of this, I don't want to cut into that sheathing. I know that sheathing's like 3/8 of an inch. So maybe I do need to make this overall 3/8 of an inch. Might be 3/8 of an inch, might be 1/2 inch, something like that. I could go look at the wall type, but that should, there we go. I needed to make it just a little bit bigger. And so that's creating my stucco relief joint. You, of course, might need to go change some settings in your wall type if you need to show this a little bit more accurately. Maybe you need to thicken up that stucco layer. Totally up to you. And then once I've got this set up in the way I want it to be, then it's easy to just pull an elevation view, get into elevation. I like to turn off my roofs while I'm doing this. You're going to have to remember to turn those back on. Also turn off gutters. And then I just get to snap this to itself. Hit tab or enter. This dialog pops up. Make sure you've got polar checked. And then this is telling us the distance we slid that polyline over before we hit tab or enter. And so I'm going to minus 3/4 of an inch. And that should just give me a 3/4 of an inch relief. There we go. Right. So now all I want to do is I want to set this up. So I'm going to set this up so that it's just right at the edge here. So I'm going to have a little relief channel right at the edge of my building. Might need to do something to just be a little bit more accurate with that relief channel. And then pop this down. And then what I get to do from here is just multiple copy over. That part's pretty simple. Now you could multiple copy in both directions, but this can cause some problems depending on how your walls are set up. It is possible though, just to keep that in mind. But so I'm going to multiple copy. I'm going to set this set up to maybe, let's just go 24 inches. And then I get to just drag this around. Now you have to do this for every wall plane, right? So this is actually a bump out section here. So it's not going to affect this bump out. It's only going to affect the plane that I drew this on. So that's one thing to note. And then the next thing is, while this is selected, I could hit copy paste. And when we're in the copy paste dialog, hover over this rotate handle, rotate this. And now we've created a copy that's rotated. And now it doesn't really matter that these are overlapping. So I can just kind of slam this to the bottom here, create a channel right at the bottom if I need to. In this case, my setup's not going to have a channel there. So I'm going to move this back up. While I'm moving it, I'm going to hit tab or enter, type in 48 inches, and then I'll do a multiple copy again. And this time I'm going to set that interval to 48 inches. So I have 2 foot by 4 foot panels here. Now keep in mind, this didn't span the whole distance. So I want to set this up so that it's spanning the whole wall distance. So I can just drag this, and it doesn't need to be super accurate. I can just drag that over, use that multiple copy, and drag this up. Right? Now, back into a 3D view, we could kind of finish the rest of this in just a 3D view if we wanted to make this really easy. We're going to see this update. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? So because we can copy paste about a corner, let's go ahead and choose our camera view that is perspective floor overview, which is in your camera views menus, right? And so this is going to make it real easy for me to come in here, and I need to make sure that my walls are turned on for that upper level. I'm not really sure what walls those are. That's funny. This is an old project file. You can always select something, by the way, and in your edit menu, if you don't want to look at Aldo, you can click on this little object layer properties to show what is this wall, what layer is it on. It's on walls normal. And so it was just that I picked the overview and I didn't go up a floor. Silly me. Let me go up a floor. There we go. There's my walls. And so now I should be able to take my relief channel. I can target that, right? And even take this guy if I wanted to, and this guy. I can select this little relief channel here too. There we go. And copy paste and then reflect about the diagonal of the room. Look at that. And this, even though these are extended well past the bounds, right? It actually is pretty simple to just take this. I'm going to just dupe this down again. This will all line up. How cool is that? So same thing. I'm going to take this little channel right here. I'm going to change my interval back to that 24 inches. And just get to, well, and I should have extended that down before I did that. But there we go. So it takes a little bit of work to finish this out. But you know what? Before you know it, you've got those grids on there looking pretty sharp. Cool. Go render that out. Send it to some AI. Kick it around. Send it to your client. Cheers.